Solve the following system of equations graphically. First one's in y equals mx plus b form, so we know that the slope is 1 and the y-intercept is 2. For the next one, we have to get it in the right form, so I subtract x from both sides, and I get y equals negative x plus 6. Just like in the preceding one, what number is in front of the x? It's a 1. The one difference in this case is it's a negative 1. In the preceding problem, it was a positive 1. And that's why the slopes work out to be, in the first equation, positive 1, and in the second equation, negative 1. And in the second equation, the y-intercept is 6. It's the number at the end. And the y-intercept is 2 in the first one because it is the number at the end. So we go to graph. We begin at the y-intercept. That's why we use a b. And graphing the first one, I begin at 2, and then up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, connect the dot. And for the second one, I begin at 6, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, I connect the dot. And they meet at the point 2, comma 4. So 2, 4 is the solution. I didn't bother writing it, but 2, 4 is the solution. Okay, number 30. You should always round money to the nearest penny. And I'm not exactly sure why this didn't work out evenly. Makes me concerned maybe I did something wrong somewhere, but I looked and I couldn't find anything the first time I looked through. 6 apples and 4 lemons is 128 bucks. 6 apples and 5 lemons is 144 bucks. Now, I can eliminate either variable. I'm going to eliminate the a's, so I'm going to multiply the top one by a negative 1. And then I'm actually going to put it on the bottom because it's a little easier to follow that way. So negative 1 times 6a is negative 6a. Negative 1 times 4l is negative 4l. Negative 1 times 128 is negative 128. So that might be a little confusing, but I distributed a negative 1. I think you can follow that. But then I took that top equation, I put it on the bottom. I did that so when I subtract, it looks a little more normal. And then I just rewrote the top one. 6a plus 5l equals 144. So I paired up the a's. Now, I could have subtracted them right away. That does work, but I prefer to avoid subtraction, if possible. Now, that gives me, when I subtract, which I had to do, 5l and negative 4l's is 1l, and 144 minus 128 is 16. So I know l is 16. Rewrite either equation. I chose to rewrite the original top one, 6a plus 4l, which is 16, equals 128. 6a plus 64 is 128. Subtracting 64, I get 6a is 64. And dividing, and I come up with $10.67. Awkward that it wouldn't work out to a perfect answer, but it is what it is. Okay, next up. Solve the following system of equations algebraically. This time, in the previous problem, the a's, the l's, the equals, and the numbers lined up, so we know it's elimination. With this one, they don't line up. Y's are over x's, the equals are not lined up. X is over y's. This is a disaster. So that means we go with substitution. Now it's no longer a disaster. It's easy. So I rewrite the 2x. I rewrite the plus 4. I don't write the y. I rewrite the equals of 48. For the y, I trade it in for what it's equal to, like trading the 4 quarters for $1. So I trade the dollar or the y in for the 4 quarters or the 3x minus 2. So in place of the y, I put a 3x minus 2. Distributing, 4 times 3x is 12x, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Combining like terms, same side, same operation. I get 14x minus 8 is 56. I'm sorry. It is, well, I added 8 to both sides to get from 48 to 56. Divided by 14, and I get x is equal to 4. Then I can use either equation. The great thing about substitution is it's usually very easy, as it is here, y equals 3x minus 2. So y equals 3 times 4 minus 2. Which is 12 minus 2, which is 10. So y is equal to 10. And then number 32. Going bulb and plant picking again, which is pretty cool because I ordered a whole bunch of seeds, and on the weekend of December 5th, my wife is going to a dog show in Melville. I think it's in Melville. Or Newville, I'm sorry, in Newville, Pennsylvania. She will be competing with Ducky and Cash, and I will be planting gardens as long as the ground's not frozen. And I have a whole bunch of seeds to put out there. So that's my big to-do that weekend. And I will be doing some bulbs in addition to my seeds. So this problem resonates with me. Now, you can get 6 packs of tulip bulbs plus 12 bags of daffodil bulbs, so 6 tulip and 12 daffodils for $78, or 7 tulips and 6 daffodils for $59. Find the price. So look, there's so many ways I can go with this. I could do the top one by 7, the bottom one by -6. No problem. If you did that, great. It works. Or you could put the negative in the top instead of the bottom. Still works. But I'd rather get rid of the D's. To get rid of the D's, I could multiply the top by 6 and the bottom by 12 and negate one of them. But it's just the easiest way is to realize that 6 times 2 is 12, and I'll negate it. And that matches up my D's with the minimal change to numbers. So 6t plus 12d is 78. And then distributing the -2, -14d minus 12d is -118. That gives me -8t's is -40. Divide by -8, t is 5. Then I get 6t plus 12d is 78. 6 times 5 plus 12d is 78. 6 times 30, or pardon me, 6 times 5 is 30, plus 12d is 78. Subtracting the 30, 12d is 48, dividing by 12, and d is 4. So tulip bulbs are $5, daffodil bulbs are $4. And that's your correct answers. I want to come back to something I said before. The idea is to finish this semester strong, to get yourself a really good grade in this course. And I look at this final exam, to me, it is not a question of your intellect. I've graded papers, or I should say Moodle has graded papers, all market period long, and I have looked at the grades, and I have looked at the ones you've gotten wrong. I've gone back over again the ones you've gotten wrong. And there is more than enough talent in this class to get all of these questions right, or the vast majority right. Unless you're like me and you always make 1 or 2 sloppy mistakes. The problem is, are you going to put your work in? If you put your work in, remember, performance is a function of preparation. If you prepare, you will perform, and you will do really, really well. So hopefully you hang tough, you fight through to the end, and you get yourself a great grade on this test. You will be thoroughly prepared walking into this test. I do not believe in trying to trick and trap you and deceive you and try in some way, shape, or form to make a test too hard for the class. I want to make a test that's challenging but fair. And in order to make it fair, I want you to be prepared for all the kinds of questions that are coming, which you will be. They're going to reflect all the work you've done all year long. Plus, it's going to reflect the work in these review sheets. So, I hope you do a great job preparing, and we got one more of these to go, plus a shorter one on newer topics, and then that's it. You are as prepared as you're going to get. Good luck.